Oh my goodness. That was Downstate's cover of Seth Rollins' theme. Correct? The new
That
cover
is
that they
correct,
just put out
sir.
this week?
That is
Correct,
correct.
sir.
Correct, sir.
So we are here live and in public, if you will, for another Tuesday night edition of The War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site for wrestling fans. If you're a singles wrestler looking for your tag team partner, you can browse our roster of over 25,000 superstars for your chance at a tag team match made in heaven. Ooh, yeah! So, we are ready to go. Lots of things. First of all, something broke. Did we talk about Amin Al Hassan talking about Kevin Owens' son? Did that come up last week?
No.
Okay, fuck Amin Al Hassan. First of all, from ESPN. He has apologized, but I'm still mad, so I'm allowed to say that. It's my First Amendment right. If Colin Kaepernick won't stand for the goddamn national anthem, I can still be mad at Amin Al Hassan for making fun of Kevin Owens' kid.
Wait,
If you haven't heard what
I,
happened.
yeah, why don't we give a little detail on that?
So Amin Al Hassan from ESPN was on Twitter, and this video, you remember the video of Kevin Owens' son, Owen, getting really excited when his dad won the title?
Yes.
His wife put that up on the fucking internet, and everybody loved it except for apparently Amin Al Hassan from ESPN.
Well, listen, not for nothing. The last time she did that, it was awesome also because
right,
it was his
debut,
and he didn't know, and Cena's his favorite, and blah, blah, blah. So
it was a great moment, and so wasn't this one. So people were sharing it, and then he shared it and goes, yeah, he's excited until he finds out it's all fake. First of all, okay,
really?
there you go. Already you have, you're going into it with a negative opinion. So should nobody be impressed that Leonardo DiCaprio, has sold a bunch of movie tickets and won an Academy Award? Should we not be proud of LeBron James for winning an ESPY? Should we? Where does it end? Because it's fake. Guess what? Movies are fake. The ESPYs are very fake, and you guys had John Cena as the host. I'm not going to get into the whole fake thing. I hate that argument. But
that guy's a dickhead.
The guy's a dickhead. He further digs into the dickishness. Hear me out here. Somebody responds to him and says he's autistic. I don't know if Kevin Owens' son is autistic or not.
Why is that even fucking relevant, though?
It's not. But what the guy was trying to say is leave the kid alone. He has a learning disability, basically. So the guy says he's autistic, and Amin Al Hassan says back, the wrestler or the kid?
Come on.
And that's a dickhead move, double dickhead move. So double dickhead on him. Because not only did he then bring up the fake argument, and then he demeaned the guy's legitimate progress over the last decade and a half in wrestling, from wherever the fuck in Canada with 30 people there to WrestleMania and beyond now and the championship. So you're demeaning his accomplishment there. You're demeaning a form of entertainment that a lot of people watch. You're demeaning a business partner that ESPN has. And then you woke up a bunch of very angry internet nerds.
I'll tell you, I would love this guy to get into the ring with somebody like Sheamus, who's known to be...
See how fake it is.
How about Brock Lesnar?
See how stiff he is in the ring.
One elbow from Brock Lesnar. Done.
Right. Fuck this guy, dude. That's a fucking dick move.
So here's what happened.
Hold on. What was Coach's response to that?
All right, so here we go. Yes, I'm glad I get to share this story with somebody and share this rage, because Mick Foley gets a hold of it. And Mick Foley puts up a big post on his Facebook. Not only does he put up a post on Facebook, he contacts Coach and he contacts ESPN. WWE didn't even have to do anything on the corporate level. This was all very grassroots. Mick Foley contacted Coach. Coach said something on Twitter immediately like, hey, man, you might want to back off this, trying to diffuse the situation. And the guy dug in and really didn't apologize until like 2 or 3 days later, enough to get some bad press out of it. So
2 or 3 days later, because somebody told him he better fucking squash it at this point.
Exactly, because
PR guy.
They realized he's fucking up. They've once a week they've got a WWE superstar or superstars on SportsCenter.
Right.
They're reporting on ESPN is now writing articles. This is the first time in a long time that wrestling is in the same area as like football, where it's culturally relevant again, because we've gone through those periods where nobody really knows the big name guys. We had that period in the mid '90s, the New Generation era, in between Hogan and the whole NWO DX Monday Night Wars thing. Nobody knew nobody. Oh shit. Heyo! Charlie's here.
That's how you hijack a show. You come in at the right moment to hijack a show. You don't come in the beginning. You don't come in when the intro starts. It's just like old school Raw, right? Right when that main entrance happens, you get your little pyro, JR and King already talking, and all of a sudden you hear that glass shatter, and then somebody come to hijack a show.
Excellent. So we were talking about this ESPN deal where the guy Amin Al-Hassan from ESPN was talking about Kevin Owens and his kid, and the video of Kevin Owens' son reacting to Kevin Owens' title win, and the guy said some stuff about wrestling being fake, and then kind of cracked on the kid, kind of as made like an autism joke about who's autistic, the kid or the wrestler.
Did Kevin Owens? Because he's usually pretty. Wow, because
Kevin Owens didn't say a word, and it was the best play he could have made.
Agreed, but usually that's not a Kevin Owens move.
That is because he is looking at, do I let this guy who's trying to make a name off of me,
right,
or am I a guy who is about ready to start headlining WWE pay-per-views and getting a lot of money for my family for the next 50 years?
Am I gonna take a chance of fucking losing the title already?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, could you imagine?
Over a political thing, because WWE does have a good relationship right now with ESPN.
Right.
Yeah, but that goes both fucking ways.
Mm.
ESPN needs to recognize that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think they have, because they made him they at least made him apologize. He may not agree.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have made him they shouldn't have had to force him to apologize.
I'm glad they did, though, because fuck that guy.
Move. Well, no, I agree with you, but I'm saying he shouldn't have had to been forced. You know what I'm saying? He should have manned up and been like, you know what, my bad.
Well, see, here's my scenario on all this. ESPN doesn't need WWE. WWE needs ESPN because the fan base isn't there for what it is. The ratings are at the lowest it's ever been in the business, ever.
Yeah, but they're popular, like social media wise and things like that. They're more relevant. Like people see like the New Day and stuff like that, and it's more.
And the ratings have been much more better than they were.
But you're right that we need ESPN doesn't necessarily need. Well, ESPN's kind of had bad ratings lately too, so that's another reason that they got into this whole agreement.
Right. Yeah, because they need each other in a short term of it, but
I think you're right that the WWE might need them more because ESPN is a network. WWE is a brand or a show. So they need a launching pad.
Right, and it needs to be recognized that, unfortunately, the WWE network and the WWE product itself right now is getting better. I think in a lot of ways. I think storylines are what they were. Definitely the guy made a bad move for his career by doing it, but especially trashing a kid with special needs. That's just the wrong play.
Hold on. Let's pause right there for a second. Is he special needs?
I have no idea.
Because I never from the videos I've seen of him, he doesn't come across as.
Well, now again, I'm sorry. I apologize if I was wrong about the child, but I know that one of Kevin's kids does have autism.
Right, and I think that's what somebody on Twitter said that to the guys, like he's autistic, and then the guy shot back, who, the kid or the wrestler, and that was the demeaning part. Like whether or not the kid has a learning disability, even just to say something like that is a disrespectful thing.
Oh, absolutely. Now, how brutal was Sasha Banks last night?
Let me tell you something. That's how you fucking do it. That's how you cut a promo. She came out there. Let me tell you something.
Here we go. I like this. Two different
I'll tell you what. This is what I liked about it. Hear me out.
Okay.
There was a good 30 to 40 seconds that I sat there that I honestly thought it was going to go in a direction that I didn't want it to go, and that was her coming out and saying for some reason she can't wrestle. And that was going to be the end of her career. I like kind of the bait and switch that she did. I thought she did a good job. Now go ahead, Charlie.
Okay, so that, how long was that promo? It was like 7 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's just about
7 minutes. It was about 6 minutes too long.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, her coming out being like, well, I got some bad news and all that.
Yeah.
First of all, the whole emotional play of her, and we've heard the story before. We've heard the whole oh, I fought up from the gutter and I'm to be the star and I'm the boss and all that. Okay, my feeling on it was, okay, Sasha came out there. If you watch the promo, she was trying to be emotional and trying to take us on this roller coaster, and to me it was like, you built this girl up to be this boss, bad attitude and all this and that, right? Why would you ever come out there and pull it back again and being like, oh, I was this weak little girl that watched and I scrimped and saved? You made her into this, boss attitude. And have her come out. If you want to return to Sasha Banks, you should have had Bayley getting her ass kicked by both of them two, and then Banks runs out and saves the day and cuts the promo. You want to mess with me? Fine. I'll see you at night Clash of the Champions.
See, I don't know. I kind of liked it. I did. But you know what? I don't know. Maybe it's I have a thing for Sasha.
Yeah, well,
here's the thing. I think they fucked up on her push because they did it like a pay-per-view and a half too late.
That I agree.
Yeah.
She came with fucking Snoop Dogg
what do you do with Bayley?
at WrestleMania? Yeah, that's the thing. She came out with fucking Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania and had this big build-up, and then what? Ric Flair kisses Becky Lynch and fucking Charlotte gets the pin. It was some stupid shit. If they just put her over big there, then by now she would have enough time to soak up the babyface stuff, turn heel, and you've got Sasha Bayley, babyface and heel, babyface Bayley, heel Sasha. Boom.
Well, I have a feeling the way that it's going now, whoever becomes the next women's champion, whether it be Bayley or Sasha, they're going to build for the rematch at Mania, where it'll be Bayley-Sasha one more time. That's my guess. They're going to have the big Mania moment and, that kind of deal.
They need a consistent champion.
And can we all agree that it's not Charlotte?
Yes.
Yes, 100%. It's not Charlotte. It's got to be Bayley or Sasha. It's, in my opinion, it's got to be Sasha.
Right, and that's the thing. Okay, you ain't gonna make Bayley a heel, so Sasha's the heel. So I mean, I would have, and this is what I said this past weekend. Someone asked me about if I was booking WWE, what would I do? And I said, first I'd shoot myself in the head because of all the all the bullshit that I would have to endure. But if switching gears. This is the angle that I've pitched everybody that I think that would sell more money than anything, and I think SmackDown's missing it. I think you turn Daniel Bryan heel.
Heel GM? Okay.
And the reason I say this, Miz cut a hot-ass promo.
Great.
That shit looked white hot. And basically what you would do is you have at Backlash, I think this week. I mean, there's so many pay-per-views, you don't know what pay-per-view. But Backlash, you have Bryant cost Ziggler the match, and they come on there and he says, you know what, Miz was right, and it's all your fault. Each and every one of you, the reason I broke my back.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I don't think there's anything he can do to get over his heel.
Oh, if he comes out there,
I think he's so far beyond that, dude. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know that he could go back to heel at this point.
I think in real life, The Miz is absolutely right, because look at the guy who's still wrestling and look at the guy who was almost in a fucking wheelchair for the rest of his life.
Listen, Miz cut a promo of a fucking lifetime.
That was the best promo I've ever heard. It was the best I've ever heard him speak since, like, what? That fucking internet show, him and Morrison, the Dirt
He
Sheet.
had the raw passion behind it. You know, Maurice didn't say a fucking word. It was just absolutely, it was so believable. It got everybody sitting there asking to themselves, was that a shoot or a work?
Yep.
You know, and those are the best fucking ones. I mean, that was just great.
What I'm saying. And if Bryant came out there and cut that kind of promo against the fans, you would turn them. You would turn them.
I don't know.
They're so easy to turn if you truly can turn them. I mean, the WWE fans
You need a big baby face, though.
I mean, I don't think maybe Ziggler's not the one. I think maybe in general, yeah, you can turn. I don't even know who. I don't think they're. It's sad that the top baby face of the company or the SmackDown brand is Daniel Bryan. You have no true baby faces in that whole company.
Right. Because Ambrose is a babyface, but he does heel stuff, and he's kind of a weird guy.
I mean, he's a heel. Ambrose is a heel. AJ's a heel.
Yep.
I mean, they're the cool modern day version of a babyface that gets booed. You know that they're baby faces, but they get booed or whatever. But you know, either way. But now my time is limited, but I do want to talk about a former spokesmodel of tagmeadate.com going on Twitter and getting some people in trouble.
Oh, what happened here?
Steve, do you know anything about what I'm talking about?
Actually, no, I don't.
You don't know about Amber Gallows on Twitter not last week when and blasting Dana Brooks?
Oh, no, I know about that, but what does Tag Me a Date have to do with it?
Oh, I'm just saying, I said a former spokesperson tagged me a date.
Oh, I was like, wait, what did Tag Me a Date do? I was like, I got you. Yeah, I did hear that, and I'm glad you brought this up, because I read it, and I was kind of like, Amber needs to shut the fuck up before she gets Gallows in some hot water.
He spent 2 hours in the office. So.
Oh, I bet. But then on the other side, how great would it be if they brought Amber in? You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, Dana Brooks fucking sucks. She's the worst. But I don't know. Go ahead.
Amber Gallows in. To do what? Are we needing people to drink at the show? Is that what we're hiring for nowadays?
You're not very happy with Amber, huh?
Okay, I mean, she's not booked on.
Story time.
She's not booked on my show, is she? Is she booked in October?
No.
Yeah, there's probably a reason behind that.
Sting is booked.
Do so.
Kurt Angle's booked.
Kurt Angle looks fucking fantastic, by the way. I saw him last weekend wrestle Cody Rhodes, put on a goddamn clinic.
Yeah, I know. I heard about this.
And Kurt I think Kurt senses this is like his last chance to make a run at it because he's still in relatively okay shape. Like, he's still young enough where he can kind of do one more run, and he looks phenomenal.
He's going to be just fine. But wait. Let's not get sidetracked. Go back to Charlie for a minute.
Yes, let's talk.
I have to be very, very, very politically correct right here.
Ooh.
There's a first for everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm getting tired of fucking getting harassing emails and phone calls because I bury people. Fuck it. I mean, whatever. I mean, let's just be honest with you. She's got a fucking alcohol problem. She's pissed off at the world because she's 40 years old and she's not signed. She's very jealous of her husband because her husband's already on the road knocking up everything moving, and she's in Atlanta, Georgia, and she can't get booked any work. And she in a ring, she sucks.
Well, this was the last episode of the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a good run.
God dang.
We're going to change the name of the show, change all of our names.
I mean, fuck y'all were really getting some dirt. She was fucking half drunk at my show.
Wrestling or?
managing. First match, she was fucking drunk.
With July, I was there. I know.
Yeah, I know. She fucking blew. She blew. Okay, I tell you fucking what. Hold on. Before I bury her goddamn ass, Eric, you were there as a fan. You were not there as Tag Me and Date, correct?
That's right.
So you actually paid for a fucking ticket, which I don't understand why you did that, but that's.
It was the last minute.
Yeah, and you couldn't have called me up and said, Charlie, I'm coming down, and can I get in the building? And I would, and I owned the joint. I would have, let you in. I wouldn't, or at least I would have charged you for the ticket, but I wouldn't have made you stand outside.
Right, neither here nor there, but.
Here or there. What did you witness from Amber Gallows at my show?
I walked up. She's at the bar with a drink.
I mean, the show isn't a bar. Let me preference this. The show isn't a bar.
Okay.
But let's be fair. The show wasn't a bar, right, and
it was.
But still, you walked up.
Drink after your match, right? Not before.
That was my first. She already had a drink in her hand when I went up to her and said hello. Oh. And when I said hello to her later on, again.
She had another drink in her hand. That's about right.
Not all.
Yeah. So basically, this 40-some-year-old whore got completely drunk at my show, decided to talk trash in the locker room, blew spots in the match, and then on top of it, almost caused a fight in the locker room.
Oh no, this is not where you cut off now.
I feel like he kayfabes us with this. Like he turns his cell phone signal off when he gets to the good part and makes us wait.
Between a couple.
Oh.
Oh fuck it!
Have a gun. Charlie, please stop this very interesting story and wait until your signal's better. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Now listen, I want to bring something up because I don't know how much Eric was watching the matches because I saw he was at the wrestling matches with some sweet brown sugar, and I think he was trying to make some cafe latte over there with his friend there. That he went. No? Oh, come on. You were with a very cute lady there, and you were posting pictures. I had high hopes. I figured you were making your Tag Me a Date match.
Okay. All right, guys.
Start this over about the fight in the locker room. That's the last thing we heard.
Yeah, fight in the locker room, which I will not go into because there are people that I will, Steve, Vince, I will tell anybody the story off camera.
Right.
Of this, but I will not tell what happened because there's people that are in relationships that were screwed with because of this. Oof. And literally I had to break up a damn fist fight in my own locker room.
Oh, we're going to be talking later.
Yeah. So literally, she will never ever get booked on anything I ever do again. She can go straight to hell. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Just my personal opinion. Anybody that wants to book Amber Gallows, you book her all you want, and God love you. And I mean, right. I'm sure my phone will be somehow or another I'll get blown up over this, and I'll be dealing with it. But whatever. Just like Robert Gibson's got some heat with me right now. I cussed his ass out this morning. So hey,
no,
fucking okay. So
oh boy.
So let me peel a little bit of what's called the grand curtain of wrestling back. Okay, when you book somebody, for example, you book a wrestler. And they call you and they say, "Hey, brother, I'm going to drive up, so you got to buy a plane ticket, because you wouldn't buy a plane ticket anyway." Most times they use their own car, and so I get told by Robert Gibson that I need to get a rental car like a week before our show. I have no way to get there unless I get a rental car. Now I rent cars all the time. Just because I travel. And to rent a car, you can rent a car on the weekend from Enterprise with the insurance for, I don't know, around $100 usually.
Yeah.
Something, a medium-sized car, nothing too serious. I get told by him that it's all like $360. What the fuck are you renting? Are you renting a Corvette? I mean, that's just, yeah. So, And then on top of it, he hits me up like, "Yo, I'm gonna need trans there and back." So he's, this. So this is not. I'm not the only promoter this has happened to with this exact same problem with this exact same person. So I'm sure other promoters have dealt with this from him. So needlessly to say, the sponsor that was going to book the Rock and Roll Express back in again. When I told them what was required the last two times, he basically said, well, no, we're not going to pay all that extra money. So, but Ricky Morton said, hey, I'll drive my own car. You pay me my own fee, and I'm good to go. So Ricky Morton got booked on my show, and for October, he'll be taking on Robbie in a modern versus vintage classic match as part of our awesome pre-show. And Robert found out about this at the end because we are working with the NWA, the NWA Crockett Foundation. They were at a baseball stadium game the other night, and they had the Crockett, they had the Rock and Roll Express there, and I guess somehow or another got brought up about my show. They were talking. The lady from the foundation was talking to Robert and Ricky, and Robert found out that Ricky was going to be there, and he lost his mind. He called me everything but the Son of God. Ooh. And I pretty much said, well, yeah, it's how you feel. Well, stop trying to be so corny in your fucking life, and you'll get bookings.
Now, do you think with all the money that he's made in his career, he could have fixed that fucking eye at one point, or what? Or is that just was that a lost cause?
Not well. I mean, he couldn't do it for all the dicks he sucked. I mean, it just keeps hitting him in the eye and shit.
Oh. Oh, so once again, this is the last episode of the War Report. I hope you guys had fun. I will never get booked again in wrestling except by Charlie. So thank you, Charlie.
That was the point of burying your fucking show to get you
right.
To get you fucking buried, get you blacklisted, so Vince, you can only work for me. I mean, that was the point of the fucking.
That's a strategy. I get it. Right.
Yeah. Look. So now I'm making you drive all the way down from New York and give you $50 and a handshake.
God damn. Can I get a hot dog?
No. Oh. You guys want to hear one last little nugget? I will. We're having a battle royal at our show. We like to have during the pre-show. I like to have fun with the fans that are smart because everybody thinks they're the smartest people in the business. All the fans do. So we always have our non-kayfabe match, and this time our non-kayfabe match is the hot dog and a handshake battle royal.
Oh God!
So all the winners.
Does the winner really get a hot dog and a handshake?
Yes.
That's awesome. I wanna see this. Like you're gonna present them with a hot dog.
A hot dog and a handshake. And thanking them coming. Everybody else gets nothing for the night.
Is that a shoot? None of those guys are getting paid?
No one else is getting paid.
That's fucking great. Oh, Jesus. So this is the kind of fun you can get into if you do wrestling in the Carolinas.
Yeah, because everybody that's in the Battle Royal is on the volunteer, hey, can I come work ring crew? Can I set up? There you
go.
Can I actually do the way I'm supposed to do things?
Pay your dues.
My dues. Sure. How about we all have a little bit of fun? You get a little ring time in. Everybody gets their insurance. Get their little 2 minutes of fun, and then somebody gets a hot dog and a handshake.
I'm glad everybody that's in that is like on board with the joke.
Well, I don't know if they are or not, but
I hope so, because you hope you don't have that one guy like Virgil after the match, like, hey brother. I could really use that $20.
That's well. See, and the best part is, I'll pull another little Iggy back. Kevin Cross is presenting the hot dog and a handshake to the winner.
Every time you say it, hot dog and a handshake, it just gets funnier.
And the fact that Kevin Cross is presenting the hot dog and handshake.
Oh, this is a great idea.
Somebody will steal this. I mean, somebody somewhere will.
I'm gonna steal it.
Yeah, I mean, how fucking Northeast Championship Wrestling do it? Nah, you guys take too much pride in your shit. Do shit like that.
Are you kidding? That shit's taking place in Bethany.
Dude, those Bethany shows go off the fucking rails. Last week, we have a show coming up on Saturday again with Ricochet and a bunch of fucking people, Warbeard, et cetera, et cetera. Real good show.
Right.
But we had our big show was like Cody came in and wrestled Sami Callihan. That was their warm up for their PWG match this past weekend, and then Liger wrestled, and we had the fans that come to this show are like the fucking ECW fans from back in the day. They're on the internet 24/7. They're always they're very big wrestling fans, but then they think they know a lot, like you said. And one guy during some fucking #1 contenders match was like, he stood up and gave this big long speech, like as a member of the audience. It was crazy. He goes, "Do you know how long it's been since so and so has defended their title? It was since April and this and this." And he's standing there like, I get that you paid your ticket, and I'm all for freedom of expression when you are a member of an audience, because you did pay your money to come experience a product. But at the same time, there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it, and I think standing up and giving a 3 or 4 minute speech during the middle of a fucking match, taking away from the match, is the wrong way to go about it. And I don't want to mention any names or any people, because I know everybody there and they all know me, and I don't want this getting back to anybody that I'm shitting on them, because I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying, I support your right to say whatever you want to say, but there's a right way and a wrong way to go about it.
Hey, let me tell you something on that note, and I'm not going to mention names either. But I got to tell you, man, there is one fan in particular, and I have a feeling it's the same one that you're talking about right now. And again, I won't say names either, because I do know everyone.
There's a very vocal contingent to that crowd.
I mean, this guy in particular, I mean, it's just mind blowing. There's being a fan of wrestling, and there's being a fan of the guys, and then there's taking it to a level where you think that you should be treated a certain way or acknowledged in a certain way because you attend the shows, or because you feel that you should be befriended by one of these names, because you pay for pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, you're a fucking fan. That's what you do.
It's a good and a bad to the situation, is that our wrestlers are so easily accessible. Listen, if you want to like somebody's page on Facebook or friend them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter, they're going to respond and they'll talk to you and whatever the fuck. They're very, very accessible guys. At the shows, they're at the tables. You don't even necessarily have to buy anything, because chances are, if you're at those Bethany shows, you've purchased a ticket before, or you've purchased some merchandise from that person before. So they'll be content to speak with you as an acquaintance and as a peer. But yeah, there's a certain perception, and again, it's not just one person, and I'm not particularly singling out one person. There is just a very vocal contingent to the audience that I think, because they're so well recepted by the rest of the audience, and they do get talked to by the wrestlers and stuff, that they might, I don't want to say they think they're part of the show, but they think that their actions are more acceptable because they're given a certain amount of leeway, and maybe they are, and sometimes the more vocal fans, the more enthusiastic they are about the product, and they share your stuff a lot, and you want to encourage those fans to be enthusiastic, but you also have to encourage them to acknowledge that there is a line between enthusiasm and kind of assuming that you're part of the show. Because yes, when you go to a show and you go long enough, people know who you are in the audience. If you're sitting in the first 2 or 3 rows of a show that has 300 people, you're going to be recognized by the wrestlers, you're going to be recognized by the other fans, especially if you do something wacky, or you make signs all the time, or you start chants, or whatever, whatever your particular...
Or dress up as a clown.
Right, or you dress up as a fucking clown. So everybody's got their gimmick in the audience. And as like Jim Cornette said, fucking people in the audience have better gimmicks than the guys in the locker room half the time, because they're just whacked out, very passionate people. But, it takes a certain type of person to be a wrestling fan to begin with, and then you add that kind of extra passion to it. So, again, I'm not saying anything negative about people. I just think there's a right way and a wrong way to go about being a participative audience member, because you are a part of the show. You're cheering and you're reacting helps feed the performance of the wrestlers. The wrestlers feed off your energy. If you are bored by a match, the wrestlers can tell, and they might not be as motivated to perform. And I'm not saying that if you're bored, it's your fault, but what I'm saying is they'll sense that you're not feeling it, and then they won't feel it, and the whole thing it falls apart. Whereas on the other hand,
Brock
right.
had,
yeah, you could have fucking silence.
Brock.
Right.
That is a definition case of that.
There you go. At least they were booing, though. Matches with complete silence are the worst. But then you have matches where there's electricity in the air, and people are anticipating it, and the wrestlers feel it, and they make that part of their performance. So it's I encourage people to participate and be a vocal fan. But then you have to realize that there was a line between being a vocal fan and then making the show about yourself. And it's funny that I say this because I really do support fans. Like, all the time you'll see me post on Facebook and Twitter about, I think fans at football games, baseball games, whatever the fuck they want to do, you paid your admission. You are free to act as you please within a certain boundary. And I think that the boundary needs to be defined somehow. I don't know, nothing, not like a rule or anything, but I think, like, as a fan,
maybe like an unwritten rule.
Right, an unwritten rule where as a fan you see the scale of being a fan, 0, no interest, to 10, like super fan, and you have to realize that maybe you need to be like a 7 or an 8 at some times. You don't have to be a 10 all of the time. You can dial it back a little and be part of the larger crowd instead of being part of your individual group or an individual person cheering. Be a part of the group effort to make the match more special. Don't try and just make it, I want to make sure my chant got started, or I want to make sure that my opinion was heard. Because guess what? Even if you yell it for a second or chant it for a second, somebody heard you. It's on a DVD somewhere. If it's quiet, the wrestlers definitely heard you. Sometimes they don't want to react to it because it's taking away from the spot that they're about to do. People have heard you. Your voice is heard. If you are booing someone, especially if you're in a room of 300 or less people, if you're booing somebody, they know. If you're cheering somebody, they know. You don't have to make the extra, like, you don't have to fucking shave your chest and paint it the color of your favorite wrestler's tights. That's you know what I mean? Not unless you really, really want to, but that's you know what I'm saying? Extreme examples of that are what I want to try and limit. Being a supportive vocal fan is great. I love it, but there has to be some sort of line somewhere.
I like how Kevin Owens last night kind of shit on the fans that were saying you deserve it. Right. that was funny, but it was
was a great heel move, and it was a way to generate heat because he was over. you know, and
definitely
he did a good job. You know, like because go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, no, I'm glad we kind of dove back towards Raw because I also want to address this whole. So now Rollins is feuding with Owens and getting his rematch. So we're just supposed to forget that Triple H is the reason why Owens is the champion. You know, not to say that they're not talking about it, but why am I not seeing Seth Rollins, Triple H? Like, why am I not seeing Stephanie confront Triple H? Why, you know, like, none of that.
And you're right.
I was a little...
left that up in the air, and I was surprised. That was my only gripe about Raw. Why did Triple H not show up?
Right.
To address the whole thing.
Maybe they keep the heat on Owens.
Yeah, but you just ended your show last week with a big angle and then didn't follow up on it at all.
Remember, we haven't seen Triple H really since Mania.
Yep.
So this was a big deal, and then, you know, and now Stephanie's playing the whole I didn't know card. So why was Triple H not called out? You know?
Yeah. And even, like, Mick's like, Stephanie, did you have anything to do with it? Oh, no, you know me, I wouldn't do anything. And she's like, really, Stephanie, you're going to, you know, of course it's definitely intentional, but, you know, for a character like Stephanie to say, oh, you know me, I wouldn't do some shit like that. And for Mick to just go, okay. No, all right.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you're a McMahon. We don't believe a word that comes out of your mouth.
Seriously. What in the last 20 years would make anybody believe those characters. Nothing. So the fact that they even touched on it that little, that was kind of weak. Like, that was it. I'm like, really? That was it? So, I wish they did follow up. But to touch on the promo that Kevin Owens cut and took the "you deserve it" chants and accepted them. Like, here's the thing. He accepted them, and then he took them and turned them into legitimate heel heat and got those people who were saying "you deserve it" to boo him. Whereas some guys, and I don't want to shit on anybody, but like Seth Rollins, he would soak it in and be like, "That's right, you're gonna cheer for me because I'm the best," bahaha, and he'd do his shitty little laugh, and like that would be his way of getting heat. Would be like being so egotistical in a way of like, "Yes, I want you to cheer. I want you to cheer for me. You're falling into my trap. Ha ha ha! I'm so smart. I made you cheer for me even though I'm a bad guy." I like this better.
Yeah,
Owens did a good job.
Heyman has that ability where he can, like, I don't know if you remember the promo the day after WrestleMania 30, after Taker lost his streak, right?
Yep.
Heyman cut a promo, and this was before the whole Cesaro shit, but Heyman cut this promo where he almost like turned face within the promo and then turned back heel. It was amazing.
I remember that. That was great. Probably could turn face again if he wanted to.
Heyman's also
turn it back around a couple times in the middle of a promo.
Heyman can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He can get that. He can still get that sympathy ECW stuff, and anytime he wants, and turn himself face for just a brief second. That's how brilliant this man is.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, I'm pretty jazzed about this whole situation. Although I think babyface Seth Rollins is going to be weird.
It is going to be a little bit weird.
Because I don't, listen, on a personal level, I don't particularly like the guy. He wrestles like a motherfucker, and he's in very good shape, and he does CrossFit, and yes, he's, one of the legitimate futures of the business, if we're going to term people that way now. He, has injured 3 people, 2 of which I like very much, and one of which is John Cena. And listen, I'm not sour on John Cena.
Just like how you said it. I'm sorry.
I'm okay with John Cena. I'd fist bump him in the hallway if I walk by him. You know what I mean? It's fine. But like he fucked up Sting's neck, and then he fucked up Prince Devitt, fucking Finn
Balor's
Balor.
arm.
Yeah. So I don't like that, and I think he's kind of probably just a shitty person in real life. Just based on what he did with his girlfriend and the girl he was cheating with, and then, the dick pic thing, and I don't know. And en vino veritas. In alcohol there is truth. Bo Dallas got drunk on a plane, and in between singing Lion King songs, he not only told the rest of the passengers to go fuck themselves, he said Seth Rollins is a dick. Nobody says that unsolicited unless you're a dick. What? Seth Rollins didn't even say anything. He just turned around and said Seth Rollins is a dick. So there's something there. Yeah. I don't know what, but there's something there.
Speaking of Bo Dallas, he had a little squash match.
Yeah, I don't understand that. He has all this backstage, drunken bullshit, and yet they're going to push him all of a sudden? What the?
And give him a new angle.
But more importantly, how does Bo Dallas get a squash match? It's Bo fucking Dallas.
He's not exactly, intimidating or anything.
And why did we bring Jinder Mahal back?
Poor guy. They hindered the shit out of that guy.
You get a paycheck?
I don't get it. I just don't get it. He hasn't won a fucking match.
Maybe he gets fed up and joins Slater.
Right. Holy shit! I just saw the funniest fucking thing on Facebook. I'm sorry. It's a mugshot of a girl who's like fucking really cross-eyed, and then the headline. It's a fake news headline. It says crazed woman cuts off man's penis for not making eye contact during sex, and she's fucking cross-eyed as fuck, and it's the funniest. Oh my god! I gotta share that. All right, I'm sharing that shit. I'm sorry, you guys have to see it now, twice now.
Speaking of Slater, I gotta be honest. The stuff with Heath Slater and Rhino is hysterical.
Oh Jesus! Okay, can I just mention one thing?
Go for it.
everybody noticed, first of all, I think everybody and their mother noticed that during that trailer park segment,
fucking hilarious, by the way.
All Rhino did was eat cheese and crackers with the squeezed cheese and the crackers. But what I don't know if people noticed, thanks to the power of high definition television and crystal screens and all this shit. Back in the day, you wouldn't notice details like this, but I noticed that every time, and it's the funniest fucking thing. I cracked up every time he did it. When he made crackers, every time he squeezed the cheese, he made a smiley face.
He did.
He did a dot,
I noticed
and a dot, and a little whoop. And it wasn't. I thought it was funny the first time, and then I'm like, wait a minute, he's doing this every single time. Like to me, then I'm thinking, wait a minute. Does Rhino, this big fucking guy, this gorilla of a man, in his real life, eat squeezed cheese with crackers and make smiley faces just to like amuse himself? Like, does he watch a Detroit Lions game back at home, making smiley faces out of squeezed cheese and just go, huh, that's neat, and just keep eating them? Like, I want that to be his life, running for Senate and eating squeezed cheese with smiley faces.
On the tour bus.
It's amazing. Did you see the commercial that he did with Kurt Angle?
I did.
So, yeah.
That was good.
Oh, the fucking guy. Some guy was like undecided on whether or not he was going to vote for Terrence Guido Guerin, a.k.a. Rhino. So we have to get his name in there because he is a politician now, and you can't vote for Rhino. Although, the whole fucking commercial, Kurt Angle's got this nigga in an ankle lock going, vote for Rhino! Vote for Rhino! And he's got an ankle, he's just screaming, vote for Rhino, while Rhino is wearing a suit and looking like a normal person. He's going, hi, my name is Terrence Guido Guerin, also known as Rhino, and I want to be your state senator. Like, he's like a completely straight political advertisement, while Kurt Angle has put some fucking guy in an ankle lock. Vote for Rhino! Vote for Rhino! It was if you haven't seen it, go look it up.
Did you guys cover Vince Russo's reaction to
Oh, no,
Sasha
Vince
Banks?
Russo can suck 6 dicks. I'm sorry. I know Vince Russo is a friend of Charlie's, but everything he says is wrong and is to get attention.
What happened now?
Well, he said that David Arquette was more over than Kevin Owens ever will be.
Well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Right, and then he pulled out the same thing Amin Al-Hassan tried to pull out. He's like, I could care less about that fat guy winning a fake title from a fake sports company, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, go back to Long Island.
I was actually going to talk about him taking offense to Sasha Banks.
Yes, he did that too.
What?
Last night he talked shit about Sasha Banks' promo. He took offense to the fact that she didn't like the bra and panties matches, which were like his fucking elimination chamber.
Oh yeah,
as a woman, why would she? What makes him think she would have promoted that?
Right, but at the same time, why would anybody promote that? Even wrestling fans knew it was bullshit. Like can we all be realistic? And we weren't watching. Listen, Stacy Keibler is a beautiful woman, but I don't want to see her wrestle. I'd love to watch her box. Oh man, but no, she wasn't. Most of those girls were not in it for wrestling ability. You had your Trishas and your Litas and your Ivories and your Jazzes and your Molly Hollies, right? And that was about. That was it. Everybody else was a model. Go ahead.
People didn't come to watch the bra and panties matches. I hate to break it to Russo.
No, I mean they came while they watched the matches, but they didn't come to watch the matches.
Here's the thing:
we're already getting canceled. Like somehow YouTube is just going to cancel us after this show. This is it's either the best or the worst one we've ever done.
People seem to forget about the Attitude Era, though. The Attitude Era, at least for the WWE, was something that was necessary at the time that needed to be done in order to stay afloat and ultimately win the war. WWE, there were times where they could have gone under, and Vince had to do something. So that's not something he necessarily wanted to do, but it was something that it was a necessary evil at the time, and we all loved it. Especially those of us who were growing up as teenagers. We're lucky enough to be teenagers in that era, but still,
right, you don't know nothing at that age. You're just you're watching it for the entertainment of ladies flopping around in Jello and whatever the fuck. I'm looking back now. Yeah, is it would you be proud of your fucking girlfriend or your daughter for being a mud wrestler? Not necessarily. So yeah, as an adult, you take a different stance on it.
And let's be honest, the wrestling, and I'm talking in-ring, was atrocious then compared to now.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It was all punch kick. But Austin would do a superplex and people would lose their mind.
That were so big in like Austin and Rock, that it didn't matter.
Yeah. No, I listen, I'm right there with you. I think that the personalities were so big. The 90s were a weird time. Let's just everybody admit that. If you didn't live through it, you wouldn't know. Everybody was like everybody was getting laid. The president was getting BJs in the Oval Office. We were going off the rails. Yeah. This was the state of our mindset, and things like the Coors Light twins were really popular, and it wasn't just wrestling. So don't try and pin it on.
It was everything.
Well, no,
wrestling in general.
Look at the difference between the early '90s and the mid to late '90s. Night and day.
Absolutely, it was a lot more wholesome product because the 80s was a lot more wholesome product. The early 90s were such a weird time because everybody was keeping that veneer of like, we need to make stuff family friendly. Saved by the Bell needs to have a very special episode. While we need Corky to be a retard. All this stuff. They had like things that they needed to do to keep up this kind of like perception that everything is fine. It's after the Cold War. We're good. It's like, no, and at a certain point that got stale, and there was like the grunge rock revolution, the MTV age, all this stuff kind of culminated in like 1996 when all the baby boomers kids got to like be teenagers. Everybody hit puberty at the same fucking time in like July 1996. And just went crazy. So it wasn't just wrestling. It was the world at large in the 90s. I mean, the 90s and in the early 2000s even. Genuine said it best. Ride at my pony. I mean, you couldn't produce something like that in another day and age. You could have only produced it in that period of time when when you give that toot toot and the beep beep, running your hands through your fro, rocking on 24s. It's the freaking weekend, baby. We gotta have me some fun. So. You couldn't do that nowadays. It's just a different era. So right. It was a cultural thing. And now we realize that it was silly. It was what it was. It was very entertaining, but it was ultimately silly. And we move on. And Vince Russo didn't want to move on. He wanted to talk shit about like that was his thing. Like he didn't really have. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but I feel like that was really the only offense he took was to her.
Yeah, that was
kind of shitting on his creation.
Yep. That was.
Ooh, she was shitting on everything that's happened.
Ironically, he was bragging about that helped save the company, yet he's the one who went to WCW.
My favorite line, though, is when she said that stupid butterfly title. I love that.
Oh, so happy that's gone.
Someone finally said it on air. Like
acknowledged it, yeah.
I'd been happier if it was called the Bratz Belt,
but then
I'm nitpicking.
The Bratz Belt. Oh no. But then
by the way, line of the night last night. The line of the night was Jericho when he goes the longest reigning Universal Champion in history, and I'm like a fucking week.
Yes, and then Owens goes
7 days.
Beautiful, and that's the way they should treat it every time he comes out. The longest reigning WWE Universal Champion in history.
I love that. Eventually, they're going to build something of jealousy between Jericho and Owens.
It's coming.
Oh, of course.
For sure. And it's going to be a great match.
In the meantime, Jericho is probably next week going to cost Reigns the match, so they'll build the Jericho-Reigns match besides the Rollins. I don't think Reigns is going to get into the triple threat.
God, I hope not.
I really do not hope.
Every time he's in a title match, I worry.
Well, yeah, I mean... But I will say this, in theory, he kind of deserves to be in that match because...
Triple H screwed him too.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I get
with everybody here. I don't really want him in it. I'm just saying, by all accounts,
storyline works.
Yeah. You guys heard, not only is Alberto Del Rio done, but there is a chance that Paige may also be done with the WWE.
Well, apparently WWE said that she needs to break it off with him, or they're gonna let her go.
Yeah, that was and listen, I don't want to encourage her to break up with him over that's a stupid thing. I don't even think they should be involved on a corporate level. I feel like that's a human resources nightmare that they're even getting involved.
I can somewhat see what the angle they're going. It's not right, but I can somewhat.
Yeah, I understand their position as a company. They don't necessarily want couples in the locker room, et cetera, et cetera. But it feels like
the whole. I heard it was because of the partying.
Really, they were just too. So it was like, I don't want to say Tammy and Chris
influence.
Candido, but they were bad. Okay. Well, if Paige ends up on the Indies in the U.S., because I mean, who knows? I assume she's now a citizen. If not, we should build a wall between us and England and deport her. But no, I assume she's a citizen now. I assume she lives in the U.S. And if she comes to the Indies, I will gladly recommend that Michael Lombardi bring in Paige, and I just, darn it, I'm such a nice guy. I just want to show her a nice time if she were to come to Waterbury. I'll pick her up from the airport and take her out in the town a little bit and get her acclimated to Connecticut, because it's a little different. We kind of talk funny. She talks different. There's a language barrier. I'll kind of ease her into it. We'll go get some dinner or something, and then maybe we'll show up to the show. Maybe. So standing off for Paige.
I
hear she's a screamer. Hell.
And on that note.
Oh, good
Wow, we timed that perfectly.
Oh, you timed it. Right
7:57 because we just crashed and burned after Charlie buried about 6 dozen people earlier today.
Yeah, no big deal.
Lovely. Any final thoughts? I know I kind of went off on a tangent about Paige and picking her up from the airport. That got really obvious.
Hey, that was you just being very nice. And
I'm trying to be accommodating. And also, I know that Alberto Del Rio is a legit 6'3" and would kick the shit out of me. So,
he'd kick your head off.
Jesus Christ. He's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
It's unfortunate that everybody in wrestling is so fucking tall. When you see a guy like John Cena next to Sheamus and Sheamus next to Alberto, everybody kind of looks the same size and they look regular. Like when you see them on TV, they all stand next to you. They all look like regular dudes. No, Alberto Del Rio is the biggest fucking guy aside from Kevin Nash. He just has a fucking presence. He's the tallest Mexican I've ever seen. It's Trump's worst nightmare. I don't get it.
I'm sorry.
He's so big. He's such a large Mexican. They're usually short and squat like Ray. And Ray's jacked. Did you see that?
Oh,
Ray is
God.
jacked.
What the hell?
Ray got on that Bane serum.
He can't be
Ray like that.
Good Lord, he's at least has to be on one thing.
Ray is on the Super Soldier Serum from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He went in looking like Steve Rogers and came out looking like fucking Captain America.
Oh yeah.
Holy turds.
He makes Captain America look small.
And he's all of 5'2", and he's jacked. So look that up on his Instagram if you haven't seen it. It's kind of weird. It's like, I don't know. It's like seeing
Probably
somebody
goes over to Vince. Can I be the World Heavyweight Championship now?
Seriously, it's almost like knowing somebody in high school and then seeing them 10 years later and they look completely different.
Even when Eddie got jacked, he didn't ever look that jacked.
Right, that's true. It's very true. I mean, goddamn.
There was a gradual process with Eddie. Rey Mysterio felt.
Yeah, Eddie actually got pretty. He got pretty jacked, but it's just with it's for proportions, more of a proportion thing. Jesus. So yeah, we should probably finish up. Any final thoughts before we get going?
TagMeADate.com. Sign up.
Yep. All right, so TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site for wrestling fans. Thank you for tuning in. We are live and in public each and every week on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. on the Eastern Time. If you are overseas or in Arizona, please be aware that in a couple months we'll be doing that daylight savings time thing, so it changes the time that you would listen to the show if you were somewhere that does not comply with the daylight savings time standard. But you can go to youtube.com, type in Tag Me a Date in the search bar. Tag Me a Date, no spaces, squish it all together, make one word. You can see Tag Me a Date's YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. You can see our archive of previous broadcasts. Our live show goes up about an hour or so before we go live on a Tuesday evening, again, 7 on the Eastern Time. And just go and check out our show. give it a listen. Let your friends know. And before we go, I want to let you know my show, The Prince of Pop, on YouTube. Look up The Prince of Pop. I'm making a new episode tonight after this, and after I eat some shepherd's pie that I made. But I'm going to make a new episode. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Matt Hardy for contributing and Dave Cole for contributing, because as of earlier today, and I'll give you an update right now because I'm that guy. But as of right now, it is the highest viewed. I've only had 2 episodes. It's my highest watched episode with 915 views in the past week. So I attribute that to Matt Hardy, because he is such a fucking boss that he did that for me. So thank you, Matt, and check out the Prince of Pop this week. Is going to be my NFL Pops, and spoiler alert, I only own Packers Pops, so get ready for some Green Bay Packers on my YouTube channel. Rodgers! All right, guys, we'll see you next week.